Welcome to another episode of Roll for Crit. I'm Jonathan Estes.
I'm Will Keeler.
And we're going to be bringing our A game today.
Really?
Fired up! Because if you didn't know, you probably didn't, we're going to tell you right now. We put out a survey recently all about things on our website, rollforcrit.com, what you want to see from us, what you like, what you don't like. Turns out people don't like us.
Oh yeah,
not much.
Yeah. It turns out they wish we were just different people. That's the only problem with their site.
They're like, it'd be great if you just replaced you guys with anybody else. Just a couple of lamps, we'd watch that. But if you haven't, please check it out. For a limited time only, if you take it, you will get 20 free crit points to spend on our website. That's equivalent to $1 off your next purchase. Please give us your feedback, suggestions, what you'd like to see on the show, and all that kind of stuff.
That reminds me, just earlier you said bring our A game. Is there a board game called the A game? I feel like that's perfect, like really bad pun title.
That would be great. What are you bringing? My A game. Yeah, well, then you could have expansions and be your B game, your C game.
Oh God.
Your D game.
Oh, we'll put on our
E
list of
game,
ideas of things we'll never actually
your
make.
F game, your G game.
And then you have to skip a letter though.
H game. It'd be like the Agatha Christie board games. Anyway, it's big news. Mm-hmm. We're starting off with big news. Special award segment. It's our new recurring segment every single week. Awards. The Spiel Jahres, of course. We talked about the nominees. Well, they announced who the winner was.
Drum roll. I'm not even gonna try.
It was Colt Express, the train game of Western shenanigans. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I think that surprises. We both had our bets on Machikoro.
Right. But to be fair, once again, we haven't played the game.
Right.
However, which is coming to America now.
Yes.
Through,
not too much longer either.
Right. I think his IDW Games is going to be publishing it here.
That's correct.
So hopefully we'll get a chance to play that soon. But at least from my opinion, from when we played the two games, it was interesting because I feel like the times I played Machikoro, everyone usually just enjoyed it. They thought it was fun. Mm-hmm. But Colt Express was very polarizing.
Yeah,
we had two people, us, who really liked it, and two people who thought it was really stupid and didn't like it.
Yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, we'll see. I haven't seen a lot of reactions. I don't know if people are. I think all the reactions were already. People were just if they were disappointed, they're disappointed with all the nominees already, so they don't care who won or not.
Right.
But we said before, it does seem like didn't seem like as strong a showing this year as last year in terms of.
Well, I know you just like Camel Up. You just love more than anything.
And even Splendor is pretty. People
no,
still love that.
Yeah, I really.
And was the other one Concept? Was that the same year?
I think so.
Concept I loved too. Maybe we're just getting older and more jaded.
Well, I thought that already started before we even started Roll for Crit. Yeah, we were jaded by high school.
That's true. Came out of the womb jaded. Came out of the womb. We were like, that shouldn't have won Spiel Jahres.
You see, you see how in like Inside Out when they're born, Joy was the first to arrive. For you, when it came out, it was just jaded. You have no other ones. You have Jade just.
Yeah, that would have been named
it's
Jade.
It's like anger and jealousy in a horrific
I think
confusion.
You got the sequel to that. Pixar could make a lot of money.
Pixar 2, Jade.
Yeah. So anyway, that is the Spiel Jahres. That's our big. The Kenner Spiel Jahres, which goes to like the more
complex
broom service one from Z.
Right.
Which we haven't tried out yet. So. Something to also note. More stuff. We got even more stuff. There's another not as big news, but I think it's pretty cool. Cryptozoic has gained the rights to the anime series Attack on Titan.
Oh, now this is a pretty big series, at least. I mean, I watched a lot more when I was younger, and I don't know, drifting off mostly just because there's so many other things to do. You can't do everything.
Right.
But like that's the one I see everyone else talk about. I mean, haven't you actually watched it?
I watched it, and I'm like a notorious hater of all things foreign. No, I'm not a huge anime guy, but I did watch it. It's on Netflix, and yeah, I like.
No, it's huge. Like
yeah,
I mean,
it's a big.
I know they're actually doing a live-action movie, or it was.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're still up to it. I know they had a car commercial, which is hilarious. It's like just this guy. It's like someone just driving calmly on the road while all these titans are like bursting out of the ground, throwing rocks.
Huh.
Like I just imagine like that going off. Then inside you see a guy just smiling, like he's listening to like J-pop on the tunes, just like.
Maybe that's well. Want to hear about the board game?
Oh, I do.
Well, here's the weird thing about this game. Mm-hmm. It's Cryptozoic, it's like, again, with like Ghostbusters, you're thinking, right. Oh no. The designer is Antoine Boza, who we just did a show on, designer of Hanabi, and Seven Wonders and Ghost Stories and like high profile guy. This isn't like your normal licensed shill game.
He is perfect for that. You know why? Because while I haven't watched Attack on Titan, I do know enough. The entire series is everyone who's super depressed because all know they're going to get killed and lose in the end.
It gets weirder. It gets crazier because here's how
Monopoly.
The basic, it's a Monopoly clone. No, the basic gist of the game, it's 2 teams. One player is the Titan.
Oh.
Everyone else is fighting the Titan, and the Titan is a literal piece on the board. And everyone
Is it that
else,
big?
I don't know how big it is, but it's big enough because other people are, or it might actually, I think it might actually be a, I don't know if it's like a figure. I think it's a figure, but it might be like on the board. Other people are climbing on top of this thing.
Oh, so you can literally put your figure on the.
It really takes the concept of the show.
Wow.
And so we'll see. It doesn't come out until next year, I don't think. So it'll be a while, but
That's. Wow.
that's some weird stuff, man. It's some weird, wild
I
stuff.
mean, I'm not surprised in some ways because, like I said, Attack on Titan's so big. I don't know if you saw it. They actually did a crossover with Marvel.
No.
Yes, there's Attack on Titan versus Marvel, and if you can't guess, yeah, the heroes do a pretty good job taking down the Titans.
Yeah,
like
really.
Spider-Man's like distracting to him, just like, come here, guys, you guys can't do anything about me. Hawkeye like just jumps on the back, like arrow to the back of the head, like, and of course, at least the few pages I saw, then the whatever the famous one that everyone knows that's like looks like he doesn't have skin and like is huge. It like jumps out next to the Statue of Liberty. Like no, it's so big here.
That's what's cool about the series is that it is just like everyone has Spider-Man powers, kind of.
Yeah,
That's what I liked about it.
So no, that's really cool. But you know what this also means?
Yes.
Cryptozoic? Deck building game, so you can actually mix them in, so they can mix with DC.
Right, or Naruto, maybe.
Yeah, and that'd be interesting because I mean, technically, I don't know if you've ever looked, mostly because I'm the one who owns them. But on the back of each box, like if you look at the back of the Justice League one, it shows the Chimera system, little drawing. But it says Hero System. On the back of the Naruto it says Anime System. Back of Lord of the Rings says Middle Earth System. On the NHL it says Sports System. So they actually have them sort of grouped, even though they can mix.
Yeah.
In fact, you can mix all of them if you really try hard enough.
Sure. You can mix any game if you try hard enough.
But so like this would be, at least in my opinion, it would be the first option we'd see of them having an anime, another anime besides the Naruto one. And I mean, we'll talk about it. I'm sure we'll do a review sometime of the Naruto one. Of where we think they do. And it'd be interesting also because I haven't watched the show as much, so I don't know as many characters. Like, it might end up, though, more like the sports one.
And it's more of a...
Like the
back and forth.
Yeah, like, I don't know. The sports one has the goalie, and there's a lot more of taking out the goalies, and it's not as much a point system. So, but, no, I think that'd be good. It'd also make they could just make it a crisis deck. Because I feel like the Titans probably make a pretty good crisis.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of bad things going down.
There's no doubt that Cryptozoic isn't going to stop at this. I'm sure.
I mean, no, with
they
Attack
got a
on
license,
Titan,
they'll be running it into the ground before you know it. But that's not till next year. Speaking of running licenses into the ground, just a quick one. They announced. Oh, you're close. So not really. A new version of Risk. Want to take guesses?
If I had to make a wild guess, judging by the articles I've already seen on my Facebook page,
damn it!
It's the Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Risk.
I was gonna say it's the most obvious one imaginable. It's like, what's even the point? That's pretty much, or even maybe that is the point. It's so easy to translate.
Well, the thing is, how is it different from the Game of Thrones board game?
It's Risk. There's no extra layers to it. So
right.
It's much easier access for casual players.
Which, I mean, part of it makes sense just because though he really does a good job writing the world. Like, that's part of the reason. Which I saw someone actually compare. Apparently, it looks like it's like England upside down.
Huh.
Like if you look at the map or something.
Lazy George R.R. Martin.
Well, no, but at the same time, I guess Risk does have it. But I think, like, from playing the card game, and I know the show, like, a lot of the big intrigue isn't just military.
Right. It's more about the political aspect of it.
Right. Which is why, Risk can have that. Don't get me wrong. There's plenty of...
True.
But, like I said, I haven't played the board game. You have it. We'll play it sometime, of course. The card game, which you haven't, but I have.
The LCG.
That one, you know that little twist of if I attack you, he'll attack me, or if we'll both gang up on him, and then you backstab him later.
Right.
That card game, at least the old version, once again, we haven't played the new one yet, at least in my opinion, does an amazing job of capturing that. I have to like take a break after playing that game. I cannot play anything serious. I cannot imagine the bad things that would happen if our group played that, then Battlestar. We would all be killing each other.
That's like, yeah, that'd be as good as the Day of Diplomacy, probably.
Yeah, no, that's why, like, I'm like, you don't think that would come from an LCG in my head. Like, you think that'd be more about playing cards, but no. When the new one comes out, we'll do a review actually of side by side.
Sure, yeah.
We're gonna take advantage of the
edition.
fact he hasn't played, so we're gonna show me playing the old one, him to the new one, and we'll actually compare our opinions. But I think it's a really good job, which is why really good job capturing Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like the families bartering and stuff.
Well,
like
I'm sure the Risk game won't do that at all.
no, it's Risk. But I mean, at the same time though, everyone knows Risk. So if you're a fan of Game of Thrones,
This will be
it's
the
easier
one
to,
that's a Christmas present for all the fans of the people that, he watches that show on HBO. I'll get him this at Toys
Right.
R Us. They won't know the difference.
But yeah, that's definitely interesting. Also surprising it took so long.
Yeah, that's true. This
Compared to
didn't
other
exist
things,
already.
other things that we know of that have a Risk
Mass
form.
Effect Risk. Who thought that was a
No,
good
no,
idea?
the one that
Metal
confused
Gear
me-
Solid Risk.
That one I'm a little bit just because it's sneaking, but still armies. The one that gets me, Doctor Who Risk, and you're not even controlling the Doctor. It's the dialect. It's like the enemies. It's like, why would you do that? Like, it just doesn't seem like such a like. This seems much more sense. There's actually armies and stuff going on.
I guess it's a real risk
In fact, there's also
releasing it.
Walking Dead Risk. I forgot about that one too.
Who even knows anymore what they're doing over there?
I think they have like a word generator. They just like roll a thing.
Yeah, probably.
Is it like the manatees from South
Yeah,
Park?
that is what it is. They have one. It's like Monopoly, Risk, and Munchkin are all lined up, and they're like, oh, steampunk Monopoly. I don't know. Okay, so anyway, the Splendor App came out.
And
It's out. It's $6.99. You can get it on Apple or Android. It has a solo mode, has a pass and play mode, has leaderboards, has all kinds of stuff. I kind of want to try it. I kind of want to.
is it now? Once again, which we've seen to come across lately, is it Android only though?
No, both Apple and Android.
You see, that's like we've talked about with a lot of different items. Nowadays, I think that can make and break a lot of things. Like there are a lot of Apple users out there and devices, no surprise. But I mean, for a lot of people, it just becomes. It's not even like it's sad you can't get it. It's almost like insulting. Like I understand certain devices if you had something really weird or unique.
I can't do this on my Palm Pilot.
Right, but like I feel Android sort of and Microsoft, they're just so and Google. I mean, Google is Android.
Right.
Like they're big enough that
Google
you
Play.
can't ignore it.
Yeah, it's strange. Yeah, it's definitely.
And I mean, I know it's a bit annoying because I think the reason is Apple. It's one software across.
They're very different. Yeah.
While Android can be different. I think it's something. It's
But
like,
for the bigger companies,
Right.
you should be able to get it done, and
Right.
and so they've done that.
And of course, this is not counting timed exclusive kind of deals. Like I know the Fallout app is going on, which actually I played on I have an Android phone, but I played on my mom's iPad.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad I get to wait because it makes me quit out every few turns, so I can't really get a nice long session in.
Wait, you mean because it's like a pay-to-play thing?
No, it's like buggy or
it's
yeah.
just not good.
Yeah, so I'm like the actual game is really fun. And it reminds me, and it's really fun to play, and also makes me like, I want to start on a Fallout board game. But
Yeah. I think it's Neuroshima Hex or
but
the State or 51st State.
Yeah, but you need it. But they need to make
Yeah,
actual
yeah.
bottle caps as infinite of his money, so you can give people bottle caps.
It'll probably.
Yeah.
I'm sure
No,
we'll get
but,
Fallout Risk in a couple years.
I know in some cases, but this is that's why what was the Coup I think was.
Oh, the app that nobody liked.
No, but also wasn't it also Android or something? Like you can get it.
Yeah, I think that's true. It was Apple only. I'm not sure if it still is or not. But supposedly the Splendor sounds good. Sounds like it has good features. Sounds like they did a good job with it.
Oh, wow. Excuse me.
God bless you.
I guess I'm allergic to bad apps.
You really are. There's a couple. Now that was our real news. Got a couple fake news items.
All right. Let me guess. You're pregnant.
They're more just funny. Someone unearthed a board game based off The Shining, which apparently was co-designed designed in part by Stephen King himself. Old thing. You can download it and print and play. It's like, oh,
wow,
you're just having an
yeah,
attack.
no. I guess someone's saying a lot of mean things behind my back.
But it's like, it's very black and white, looks like a map, looks very old school kind of game. But one person plays as the house, 2-player game. The other person plays as the family. You're trying to fight off the house itself. So you can go check this out right now. We'll put a link to it, The Shining. We should try it out.
I'm pretty sure that's Betrayal House on the Hill Part 1.
Yeah, it should be. Also, more fake news, Snakes and Lattes, the cafe, the board game cafe. Yeah. When I say fake news, by the way, this is all real. That's not true, that's fake. They're going to have their own TV show, sort of. A web series. They are producing, this is the Board Game Cafe in Toronto. They're going to start...
That's the one you visited?
I visited it ways back. Very popular, well-known as far as board game cafes go.
He was kicked out right away.
Yeah, they did not like me there. I was belligerent. I had too much to drink. They're also opening a larger location, but they're having an online...
Do we actually know those locations at all?
No, it's still in Toronto. It's
I thought you meant like...
No,
because I'm
not
like,
wider.
If they're going to New York, we better be there.
That'd be great. But yeah, it's like a sitcom basically based on people working at a board game cafe, more or less.
I'm sorry, my mind goes to that. Remember a while ago was a comic of the cast of Seinfeld playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
He's a roller, Jerry's a roller.
But I do think maybe the market is ripe for a... What is the Geek and Sundry show where everybody played World of Warcraft? The Guild.
The Guild.
Like, a show about people who play board games. Maybe that's...
Well, my only fear about it
is
it could end up two ways. One...
Great or awesome? Go on.
I believe it'll end up like, I think it's called Video Game Academy. It's a very more poppy... Like, it's much younger audience, and really, like, it's going to end up like Richie Rich on Netflix, which if you haven't watched, you should watch an episode. You'll see what I mean.
Hopefully not.
Or second, it's going to end up like Big Bang Theory, when it's sort of like, it's more of not appealing to everyone who actually isn't into board games. It's like, look, we made a Monopoly joke. Look, we made a Risk joke. And you know how...
Well, hopefully it is,
Well, no, this is by people who actually run the board game cafe.
Right.
That's the difference.
So I don't know if this thing's going to be 5 minutes or 30 minutes, but I think it comes out later this year, like in the fall sometime. So we'll see. Maybe this will lead to a revolution of TV shows based on board games.
At the very least, maybe a revolution in more board game cafes.
Yeah, we'd love to see more of that. We need to visit the ones in New York and do a show about it.
Yeah, I'm surprised there actually wasn't one near you. I feel like that would be the perfect place for one.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah. I have another small thing I think it would be interesting for everyone to hear about.
Throw it at me.
Our zombie apocalypse game.
Well, okay.
What? I'm very confused by your reaction there.
No, that's good. We can switch things up. Let's talk about it. End of the World RPG, Session Report, number 3.
Anyways, recently in our game, you all... it's been a week since we actually had a time break instead of just playing right where they left off, in which I gave them each sort of like one event, doing something interesting, and they all did very well.
Yeah.
I was very kind with your events. I pretty much just tried to find a way to also make you guys do more, like use your other stats.
Right.
Like, because I know, for example, you're not as much in the strong. Because earlier I felt like it was just, all right, are two people, one who has a huge vitality and one who has the huge dexterity. It's just like, they're just going to kill everything. And that was the only stat that mattered.
Right. So mixing things up a bit.
Because
what else happened?
You all met a apocalypse party where people are pretty much doing crazy things.
We went to a crazy, like, Mad Max, end of the world. We're all gonna die.
But it hasn't gotten that bad just yet. It will.
Jonestown.
Spoilers. Where our friend here is now addicted to the new drug, Gloria.
Yeah, I got addicted to a drug.
Which makes him speak and act like the character Gloria from the Arkham Horror series.
It was very much an in-joke between us.
Would you like to give everyone a taste of the voice you have to speak
She
in?
talks like that. Like a stereotypical lady working at a diner, smokes a lot of cigarettes.
like our producer, Danny Hand, who's been on the show a few times. Anyway,
but
co-executive producer.
I enjoyed it a lot more because it wasn't just here's zombies, go kill them.
It was fun. We got to talk to some interesting characters.
Yeah, and there were plenty of other things. And I'm sort of hinting at currency is now different. It's not just money. and it will probably be changing depending on where you go.
One of our heroes, our team leaders, got into a fight in a zombie arena cage match.
Well, I think the fun part you got to talk about first is during the week, his event was he got attacked by some people, and he rolled so well. He literally just beat up the people that he has a reputation now as the Smiling Death. Or as later, because my brother then convinced people around because he wanted to spread the myth of the Smiling Death, the Grin Reaper.
Yeah, we had some good puns there. So that's happening. So we're doing well, I think.
Yeah, no,
we're on our way. We're
it's a
trying
lot
to find
of fun.
gasoline.
And also, yeah, that's actually had to be the gas
sidetracked.
depot. Well, it happens. You had to deal with all this to get there. I was pretty much. I'm planning. If you haven't noticed, it's gonna make you go sort of like Zelda quest. Like, I need this. You go to the next person. Well, I need this. And you just go around in a horrific circle.
One of those classic O. Henry stories.
But I also found it funny because part of me is like, I sort of wish the End of the World Elder Gods one was out, because then I'd be like, since you're high on a drug and addicted, I'll be reading things for you in there. Like,
just mix and match from all of them.
like, you're just gonna be like, there's an elder thing. Oh God.
We'll see what happens.
Yes, we will.
And then we'll tell you about it later on. We talked about some other games that we played last week.
Yeah, what else did we play?
You didn't. I played Splendor. Speaking of the app,
I had to leave early because I was dog watching for 4th of July.
But that was fun. I actually liked it more this time than when we played it previously. I actually had a bit of a better impression of it. I think the first time I'm pretty sure I won, and I think maybe I was just like
you did win.
Yeah.
I know. I remember because our producer, Ivan, was the turn before me, and it's just, it has those moments that the person in front of you just happens to be going for the same thing as you.
Right.
Like, I still love the game, and I really want to play it. I just remember that, because I know that took a lot of times I was just like, damn it.
Well, I think
I'm pretty sure whenever I play with usually a creator of the game and stuff, the same thing happened in this, we're like at the bottom together, like me and the other person. We're both like,
it's a curse. It's a gift and a curse.
Just like I have to curse you from never seeing a Weird Al concert with me.
Inside references no one wants to hear. But so I think maybe because everyone didn't know what they were doing, I came away with like, it's very simple, which it still is very simple. But this time we played with our friend Garrett, who of course won this game in a tournament the first time he played.
Right.
And of course steamrolled us. Not steamrolled, but he won. But I think it seemed like I found a little more depth maybe that there was than I first realized. Well, then we actually we kind of got together on 4th of July. We got to play. I like talking about the Eminent Domain.
Yeah. Now, if you don't know, this is a deck building game from Tasty Minstrel. We've enjoyed a lot of Tasty Minstrel's games, and I wanted to try this out. First of all, I usually like taking out deck building games because, especially in a situation like 4th of July, in which if you've played a deck building game before, you know half the game already. Like you've already got probably like a good at least 50% of the game down, and whatever variations are usually easier to pick up. It's not like taking out Fortune and Glory, where you know you have a huge box.
Everybody's got a point of reference they can work from.
And it turned out a lot better than I thought.
I actually liked it quite a lot.
I thought it'd just be like, it's a fun deck building, but like the mechanic, it makes it unique. I think, in our opinion, was something that we really enjoyed. Pretty much the way the game works is if you play a deck building game, you add your card to your deck. Well, when you choose your card, pretty much you're going to do what the card does right as soon as you play it. But then everyone has a chance almost to copy it in essence.
Right. So you have to think, even if it's something you want to do, you don't want to also let other people get a chance to do it potentially.
Right.
And it was really nice because there's no direct conflict. You don't actually fight each other, although there is attacking. So it was a more interesting way of giving you interaction.
Well, in a way, it was an interaction that wasn't by lockout. Like, in the DC deck building game, which I do love, but it happened to us in the villain deck. My brother happened to get these 2 attack cards, so literally he'd just be like, okay, this turn I'm pretty much making you guys discard your hand.
Right. And sometimes I like that because there's no hard feelings. You can affect each other, but you don't feel like
the only thing I was bad is because it happened twice to me. Because you can play same copies of the card to boost the effect, and you can discard the end. I'm like, I'm not gonna need these attack cards, discard them, and Jonathan would be like, okay, I'm using the attack thing. I'm like, no.
Because you didn't have them anymore. It didn't help you.
But I mean, it's not a.
But that's your own choice.
But it didn't, and it's not like it put me behind.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, I'm sure maybe it could have.
Maybe in the short term, but
No, but I mean, like, maybe there could be an instance where that could have won you the game kind of deal, but it wasn't like, there's, like, you know how some games, if you do one wrong move in the beginning, it just,
Yeah.
like, what was the game we played also?
Monopoly.
Not Monopoly. We played
Game
it.
of Thrones Risk.
No, we played it with Garrett. I forget.
Splendor.
No, I left that before that. It was something where I had a really bad first turn, and it just pretty much took me out
that
of the
kind
game.
of that was Imperial Settlers.
Imperial
that kinda
Settlers,
happened,
but
yeah.
we'll talk more about that. But like,
true, we played that too.
I feel it's much harder for that to occur in this game. And in the end, with the scoring, I think in total we had a 5-point spread between all of us.
Yeah,
like
close.
It was 22-17 was the. So I think to me that's a good sign. Like I know Legendary. How many times have we had like I'm 20, I'm 30, I'm 60.
Right, that's usually what happens. But yeah, it's definitely a game that, one of those games that the theme wasn't like making me go crazy, but actually the mechanics were solid.
Well, I think the one thing it wasn't space, but as much as the politics of the idea. Because once again, it was much more like you got a lot of stuff there. I don't know if I want to give you an attack or something like.
Right.
But
we can talk about Imperial Settlers too. That
well,
was
I
fun.
want to because what happened in Imperial Settlers is first of all, we've played the game before, but this is with the new expansion. Why can't we be friends?
Right.
Or somewhat new.
Right.
And I have to say, we'll get to it, but first of all, yes, I got ruined in one turn, but I still had fun. I think, okay, I didn't get as close to you guys, but I feel like I got up in the end.
You had some stuff going.
Yeah. Which, I mean, a lot of games have it. It's one of those hardest things to avoid.
Unfortunately, it ended up basically Garrett like using me to to advance, and then you were kind of just like lost in the other end.
You were Japanese, I was the Romans, and he was the barbarians.
It was my first time playing as Japanese, and that was interesting too.
Because I feel the Japanese, what their whole trick is, they need the shrine and something else, and sort of like you secretly store things on them so you don't look like in the lead, and then you're like, I got 20 points.
Right.
But the big thing,
I did that,
which
so
I want to talk about, the two cards. One, the eruption.
The volcano from the new expansion.
Yes. It's the only instant card, and which I almost misread when we played Ron because I thought instant mean I can do whenever I want.
Right. No, it's just an action.
But at first I was like, oh, I'll just use it to destroy stuff, and then I realized it can destroy his rival buildings. They're spending 2 swords. I'm like, oh, I want to hold until he does something like, I don't know, the Dark Temple.
Basically, once per game, you can just destroy someone's card.
Not even raid, it's just gone.
And ones that you can't normally destroy. So it's really good to save for when someone has that one card that's just really
Which, of course, he got a
bugging you.
copy of right after I blew it up.
Yeah, he was just getting some really powerful combos. And we
Yeah.
got him really early, and he kept steamrolling with them.
Right.
my
But
new
the
phrase.
other big thing, which also helped him a lot, is a new
He
card.
cheated.
Yes. Well, no. That anyone who's a barbarian cheats. Is the storage cards.
Right, that's the new...
Those changed the game completely.
The new production cards that not only do they give you production each round like in the original set, but you can also put resources on them, and they give you points if you at the beginning.
No, that's
of
their
each round.
production. They give you points. That's the only thing they make.
No, they also give you whatever it is.
No, they don't. They literally only give you points.
No, there's 2 separate parts on it. There's one, you get a wood, and there's second, if you store wood on it, specifically, you get points. They act as normal production cards.
Well,
I swear they do.
I know. Well, look it up. Maybe for like the one specifically for a group, but mine, like the one I had.
Maybe different ones.
Yeah, mine was from the
there's
common.
different
Yeah,
abilities.
the one
Sorry.
mine was the production was strictly gain victory points for each stone that was stored on here, up to 3 points. And then a feature is at the end of the cleanup, you can throw stone onto there.
Right.
But the important thing is you're not spending the stone. It's not like the Japanese shrine where you throw it on there, it's gone. Like you almost spent it to put
You
it
can
on
get
shrine.
them back.
You put the 3 stones in afterwards, the stones come back to you. So as the Romans, I don't store stone, but a lot of my things need stone.
Yeah.
So after getting that, I was able to store all the stone and just...
It's nice.
And then 3 points around?
I agree, it's powerful, but it's not like only one person has access to them. I think there's enough.
No, but the problem is
around.
we should have just Garrett combined with he had like
Sure.
first turn he literally had like 7 wood producing sources plus that, so he was just
Well, now we know. And
Right.
in the future, we'd be raising that stuff and trying to go
well,
after it.
I think actually I was raising every time I can almost.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
That's another thing. As a Romans, I got like no sword production.
We
which is
found that to
surprising.
be seemingly the case. Yeah.
But I definitely
Bad luck
it's
on our part.
it also the open. Don't forget open productions. That's the other thing that was introduced.
Oh yeah, we didn't make too much use of that.
I did.
Not a lot.
I
though.
used your
Did
food
you?
reasonably.
Oh, yeah. Like a few times. I
Well,
guess there aren't
mostly
that many
because
rounds.
for me, the thing I needed was stone. The only open stone production was mine.
So this is when you have production and someone else is allowed to use your production card, but they pay you a worker for it.
Right. So that makes a big deal
give
because
and
like
take.
you could be like, all right, I didn't produce any of this, but like what I do a lot is, oh, Jonathan has food. I can, for a person, I get a food, therefore I can make a deal.
Yeah, I'd definitely be curious to see what if anyone watching or listening, which factions you like, what you think, or if you've tried the new expansion, how you think powerful things are over.
Right. I mean, your thoughts on the volcano? I definitely want to know.
Because I give the game the benefit of the doubt, and that it's usually just if person seems like oh, this team didn't do well for me, that it's either we just weren't playing it right or just bad luck of the draw. I feel like it's.
Well,
usually a game this popular,
yeah, no,
and well renowned.
I've played as everyone, and at least from my opinion, I do find the barbarians have too much sword stuff that the Romans should have. Like the Romans hold swords. I looked at the deck. I think there's only like one card that makes swords.
But I'm sure that someone's like, well, you just counter it with this and this, and it's
right,
easy to
of
do.
course.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, I mean, I think I enjoy most of them. Like I said, even though the Japanese can have their stuff destroyed, I haven't found that to be an issue too bad.
Yeah.
Because you can throw samurai on them. And it's hilarious what you can do with deals. Like you can steal people's deals and stuff.
I definitely like them and the Egyptians just because they're more interesting. I'm excited to try the Atlanteans.
Yeah, they're gonna be fun to mess around with.
But yes, that's our 4th of July. That's pretty much the fun stuff we did.
All the fun board game related
Any
stuff.
other craziness you want to talk about before we go? Stories. We're still looking forward to Gen Con.
Yeah, I mean, a lot forward to Gen Con. Still waiting to hear if any of you are going to be there.
Yeah. And
there was one Kickstarter that I looked at. It was interesting, called 100 Swords. It's actually 2 different decks. You can choose to back both or one. In essence, it's literally just a deck. There's monsters and treasure, and its goal is just to gather as much treasure as you can before either the deck runs out or someone beats the monster, and then see who got the most gold.
okay.
So it's like just very simple. It's by the same guys who actually did the Eldritch Horror pocket game I have.
You mean Shadow of the Elders?
Yeah, I was afraid because they had 2 different names.
Not related to Eldritch Horror, the fantasy flight game, separate.
Well, because they used to, I think Shadow of Arkham, and they actually got in trouble from Fantasy Flight because of that game.
We'll try not to give them any more lawsuits on this show.
But it looked really cool.
Okay.
That was what I picked up. It looked like a nice, also fun, simple game.
We love those.
Yep.
We love those.
Well, in terms of something that might be quick to take out, like when you're out. I don't know if it's officially a pocket game by their standards. I don't think I've seen them use that word, but
I've been noticing this. I feel like the more board games people have, the more into the collection you are, the more you want those simpler, shorter games because you want to be able to actually play them. It seems like the trend. But we try.
anything on yours?
No, I got nothing. That's it.
All right.
I didn't look at anything. So hopefully you got a chance to check out that. We'll put a link to that Kickstarter below, 100 Swords. And you can email us or comment on this video if you want to talk to us about Gen Con, what you're looking forward to, the games we played this week, any of the news. Did you approve of the Spiel Jahres winner or no? What do you want to see in the Attack on Titan board game? Our email address is rollforcrit@gmail.com.
And of course, there's @RollForCrit for Twitter and our personal Twitters.
Yes, which are on the screen around us. And you can always check out our website, rollforcrit.com. We sell games. We make videos. It's what we do. And we post news. Great prices, always low prices, always Walmart. Check out rollforcrit.com. And don't forget, we mentioned it before, but please, if you get a minute, take our survey. It would really help us out. Let us know what you're thinking and feeling.
Get some free crit points while you're at it.
Yeah, we're here for you. Awkward pause. I'm Jonathan Estes.
I'm Will Keeler, and this is Roll for Crit.